Hi, in this short video I'm just going to follow up a little bit on what I said in a previous video about why you should get your designer to find your savings in the specification rather than ask a builder to find you the savings when you're trying to work on a budget. And I thought what I'd do today is just demonstrate how that works mathematically so that you can see there's a bit of science behind the advice. So let's imagine that we've got a scenario where you've designed a building and you set out with the budget of 400,000, so not a cheap building, but you set up with a budget of 400,000 to build your new home, and you've tendered that project and it's come in at 500,000. Now this is not unheard of. This happens quite a lot in the construction industry. So you're looking to find a £100,000 saving, and instinctively the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to the builder, the contractor, and you're going to say, please show me how we can save £100,000 in this project. So as I've mentioned before, contracts are put together, or the price of a contract is put together normally on a cost plus scenario. So the cost of the build, the cost of the labour, the cost of managing the project, plus some form of profit. So let's say on this particular project, this tender that's coming at £5,000, your builder comes back and says to you, well, okay, of that 5,000, 450k of that was the cost of the build, and 50k was my profit. So you're asking me to save £100,000. So all I can do really here is I can take 90k from the build, and I can take 10k from my profit, and that's how cost plus works. And so your contractor says, well, I'm not particularly happy with this. Before I even started the project, I'm losing £10,000 on my profit, and actually for me to do this work it's probably going to cost me in time and effort, let's say £500 for every £10,000 that I save. So there's another minus 5k going into the pot there. So from the builder's perspective, you've sat down with them, you've tendered, you've asked them to come back with a price, they've come back with their 500, and before they've even got onto site, you've asked them to take £15,000 essentially out of their 50k profit. So they'll be dropping down to a £35,000 profit. Now that's not a great position for any contractor to be in, and it's not the sort of thing that really is going to encourage them to want to come to the table and to want to do the work to bring that price down. So if we flip it on its head a bit and we go back to what I said before about this being a counterintuitive way of dealing with things, and instead of asking the contractor to go and find £100,000 worth of saving, we go back to the design team and we say to the design team, I will pay you £5,000 to come up with a £100,000 saving, a designed £100,000 saving. So not just snipping bits out because it's easy, but going back to the drawing board and looking at that specification and looking at how do we get the same type of project, or the same look, the same feel, but we change the materials in the background. So what happens there when we do get the design team to look at it instead is the design team can only work on one of these numbers. They can only work on the £450,000 element because theoretically they don't really know what the contractor's profits is. So they'll spend that £5,000 and they'll go out and they'll work on that number to bring it down to 350. You've then obviously spent the extra £5,000 in design fees, and when you go back out to tender to a builder, possibly the builder that we spoke to last time, or a new builder, there's now room for £40,000 to £50,000 worth of profit for the contractor without them having to expend money to knock it back. So you total that up and you're at 395 to 400k. So what you're doing is by putting your money in the right place, by talking to the right people about how we find your saving, and by understanding that it's going to cost somebody something to bring that budget down for you. That's how you get the best bang for your buck when you're tendering a project and when you're building up and changing a specification. So hopefully this little video shows you very quickly how by thinking about things in the way that the construction industry works, and by thinking about things in the way that contractors work and that designers work, you can put your money in the right place and ask the right people to do the right jobs for you to start to see your savings. Now, I can't promise you that, go and spend £5 with every designer and they're going to find you £100,000 worth of savings. But what I can say to you is that if you give your architect, your design team, the right level of resource, and you explain to them what it is that you're trying to do, and you put that effort in the front end of the project instead of trying to pull it out the back end of the project, you get the right momentum behind the project. You get the right people that are motivated to help you bring that budget down, instead of asking somebody to take a haircut before they've even got on site. So that's really it for this short video. If you haven't seen the previous one on how to build on a budget, please click on the link above. Again, if you're liking the content that we're producing, please subscribe to our channel, leave comments below to let us know what we could do better, or what you think about the stuff that we're putting out there. And please subscribe to our channel and follow us so that you get the latest updates of information that we're releasing. Thank you.